we need to consider hypoglycemia under different subtypes. What are the types of hypoglycemia? Needless to say, hypoglycemia of diabetes mellitus, also called fasting hypoglycemia, is the commonest form of hypoglycemia. Another thing that occurs in diabetics is hypoglycemia associated autonomic failure, HAAF. The third one is the postprandial hypoglycemia, which is called reactive hypoglycemia, which does not occur in diabetics but occurs in a different set of people, which we will see. Endogenous hyperinsulinism, alimentary hypoglycemia are other types. Fictitious hypoglycemia, surreptitious or malicious use of drugs, oral hypoglycemic drugs and insulin to cause hypoglycemia. And of course, lastly, the pseudo hypoglycemia due to errors in the lab, errors in the monitoring, errors in sample taking, which we will consider a little later. Before we go on to the less important types, we will see a little bit about hypoglycemia of diabetes in a great detail. Hypoglycemia of diabetes. So this is the commonest form of hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is a fact of life for type 1 diabetics. Type 1 diabetics, there is no way oral hypoglycemic agents will not work. They will be treated with insulin. So much so, on an average, they have at least 2 episodes of mild or moderate hypoglycemia per week. Sometimes it could be very, very severe hypoglycememia, and it is estimated that at least 1 episode of severe hypoglycemia occurs in a type 1 diabetes patient per year. It is estimated that 2 to 4% of type 1 diabetics die of hypoglycemia. Recurrent morbidity is a problem in cases of type 1 diabetes as well as type 2 diabetes. The occurrence or incidence of hypoglycemia is more in type 1 diabetics because of the regular use of insulins. In type 2 diabetics also, the hypoglycemic episodes will become more and more as the patient is shifted onto insulin for better glycemic control. Sometimes it could be fatal if the hypoglycemia is prolonged and severe. Problems with hypoglycemia, what will happen? Because of the fear of hypoglycemia, we may not maintain the blood sugar as tightly as we want, so that precludes tight glycemic control and its attendant benefits. Recurrent episodes of hypoglycemia trigger in what is called hyperglycemia associated autonomic failure, also known as HAAF. So recurrent episodes of hypoglycemia, the patient's system, the autonomic system, will not respond the way in which it normally responds in the first episode. So much so, hypoglycemia unawareness occurs and hypoglycemia is not managed and the counter-regulatory mechanisms fail. There could be 2 things: defective glucose counter-regulation and hypoglycemia unawareness. Both will contribute to what is called HAAF. So these are some of the important facts of hypoglycemia in diabetics. In diabetics, why there is hypoglycemia? The hypoglycemia is because of either relative excess of insulin or absolute excess of insulin. How does this occur? Increase in the dose of insulin or increase in the secretagogue like your sulfonylureas, repaglinide, metiglenide, or ill-timed insulin or OHA, or the wrong type of medicine being used. Overnight fast, missed meal, decrease in the glucose input. So, increase in the medication, decrease in the input of glucose into the system from outside, or utilization of glucose by exercise, insulin dependent increase in the utilization, or because of good glycemic control and good treatment, the insulin sensitivity improves, and increased insulin sensitivity increases the movement of sugar into the cells and hypoglycemia can occur. decrease in the endogenous production from glycogen. Particularly in alcoholics, the glycogen breakdown is at fault, and then the glycogen stores in the liver also are reduced, so much so there is a decreased glycogenolysis and maintenance of blood sugar. Or decreased insulin clearance and renal failure increases the available insulin, so much so it produces hypoglycemia. Increased utilization of the sugar by tissues as occurs in sepsis mediated through the cytokines. These are the situations in a diabetic which produce either relative or absolute insulin excess in the system. That results in lower blood glucose.